here at Worlds of Fun, back here for the first time since opening weekend. That weekend was a mess. It was so busy and Mamba was closed the whole weekend, but it is open today. I parked in the Oceans of Fun parking lot just for ease and convenience. And since I didn't get on this on opening weekend, I'll start off with it, but I've still never ridden Zambezi Zinger. I did row 3 and the back row. It is definitely way better in row 3. So this is still going to be a top 100 coaster for me. Easily number 2 in the park. Haven't ridden Zambezi Zinger yet, but I mean, come on. That's going to be number 4 at best. And this pathway, which was closed off on opening weekend, is back open again. It is still not showing up on the map. This is like a grass area on the map. So according to the map, you cannot go through here, but it is open. Time to get my first ride on Zambezi Zinger. Sorry about that. Time to get my first ride on Zambezi Zinger. Yeah, I don't know why it's pronounced that way, but oh well, that's what it is. See it switch from wood to Titan. You also see right in front of us here, that switches from wood to Titan. Come back around there on wood, then on Titan. So this is where you roll out of the station. You're on wood track, switches to Titan right there. I wonder how much is wood and how much is steel track on this coaster overall, percentage-wise. I just got my first ride on Zambezi Zinger, and it was pretty good. I went in with low expectations, and I guess it kind of met them. It's below Timberwolf. Honestly, I'm a big Boomerang fan. It might even be below Boomerang. You really feel when you're on that Titan track, it is so smooth. So overall, it's going to be a big, huge hit with people in Kansas City, especially for those with the nostalgia for the original. For coaster enthusiasts, don't go in expecting something like Prowler. It's nowhere near that level. In fact, I would say don't even expect along the lines of Invader. I think Invader has better airtime. This was weaker than my weakest rides on Invader. So I got my first 2 rides on Zambezi Zinger. I got the back row, then the front row. Just kind of got lucky with that. And my initial impressions of this ride, it's okay. Maybe it'll grow on me over time. In the back row, I thought this first drop might give a little airtime, but it didn't. There were a couple moments in the back row that gave a little bit of floater. I can't remember where it was, but it was a tiny bit of floater on a couple moments. Very briefly, though. Now, when you go off into the woods there, that's when you switch over completely to wood track, and you definitely notice it. I thought it was rougher in the front than in the back. What's interesting is that the restraints are different than other GCIs. You don't have the regular restraints that you're used to with most GCIs. These are like hydraulic, maybe? I don't know. But they come down tighter as you go, and you cannot fight against it. It will come down tighter against you no matter what you do. I tried pushing hard against it, and it kept coming down tighter anyway. The front row didn't seem to have any airtime. It is kind of a family coaster, but I feel like it's a bit too rough to truly be considered a family coaster. So I would easily say that Timberwolf is well ahead of this. I don't have any nostalgia for the original Zambezi Zinger. Never got to ride it. I have ridden Whizzer at Great America. I would say that I like Whizzer more than this. So I waited 30 minutes and then 35 minutes for my first 2 rides on Zambezi Zinger. I got 5 laps on Prowler in about 45 minutes. So that might be one advantage to Zambezi Zinger. Takes the crowds away from the better rides. And my first 3 rides on this were after a short breakdown. Actually, I don't know how long it was broke down. And those first 3 rides were actually pretty weak, especially by Prowler standards. But those last 2 rides, that was back to full strength. It just needed time to warm up. So it must have had a long downtime. It seems like in the mornings it rides pretty slow. And when it came back online after that breakdown, it was riding slow, but now it's back to full strength. Every time I think my Prowler experience can't get any better, it finds a way to top itself. That was the best experience I've ever had with Prowler. The enthusiasm and excitement from the fellow guests and the ride ops, top notch. These have got to be the best ride ops I've had on any coaster. They have been enthusiastic. About the last half hour or hour, the fellow guests have been cheering so loudly every time we come back into the station. We don't even give the person on the microphone a chance to ask, "How was your ride?" We're already cheering loudly. And she told us, "You got to give me a chance to ask the question." So on the last one, they were like hushing us. "Wait for it, wait for it." Then when she asked how was the ride, we exploded. And the fireworks, of course, going off right now. I don't care about that. I want another Prowler ride, but they're closed. So that'll do it from Worlds of Fun. I ended up with 12 rides on Prowler, 7 in the last hour and a half or so. I actually took a break to go get some soda in the middle. There's the drones, Ferris wheel. So even though Zambezi Zinger was kind of a disappointment, even though I had low expectations, it still kind of fell short of those low expectations. You know what? I don't care. It takes crowds away from Prowler and the other rides that are worth riding. A lot. Zambezi Zinger, yeah, go ahead and get 1 or 2 rides. Then spend more time on the better rides. While everyone else is in that long line. It was 30 and 35 minutes, my waits for my 2 rides. Not a big deal, but that's on a Thursday. Weekends, I'm sure, will be a lot longer. So I did 12 on Prowler, 3 on both Mamba and Timberwolf. I had limited time here because I got here late. And I had 2 on Zambezi Zinger, 0 on Patriot because it's a B&M and it was broke down. Typical B&M unreliability. Yeah, I don't understand it, why B&Ms just seem to always be broke down on me. But you know what, that's okay. It is my 3rd favorite in the park, but I've ridden it a lot in the past. But tomorrow, heading to Adventureland in Iowa. Got 2 new coasters, or 2 coasters that I haven't been on. The 4D Free Spin, which opened a couple years ago, I haven't been on yet. And their brand new coaster, a family coaster, just recently opened.